Hello there, my name is Billy from Piano and Pies and this is the tutorial for Never Change by Lukas Graham. So there are just a few parts to this song, but they're all quite in depth, so let's get stuck in with the introduction which you hear at the very start of the song. So with very low on the piano, in the left hand you've got a G flat and a D flat, and you're going to sustain that for 4 counts. At the same time you've got a G flat, a B flat and a D flat. And the right hand's going to alternate between the 2 higher notes and the lower note like this. So just slowly. And so on. And that happens 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kind of 8 pairings. And you hold that left hand. So here we go. In the next bar, your left hand goes down to a note of E, and that's going to sustain. We then have an E, an A flat, and a D flat in the right hand, and the higher notes and then the lower note alternate just like the previous bar. So we have up to now there's 2 more parts for the introduction. We go to an E flat in the left hand, an E flat in the right hand, along with a G flat and a B natural. And we follow that same type of idea, the 2 highest notes and the lowest note, and this left hand just sustains again. And the final part we need, this hand goes from an E flat to a D, and this hand, this E flat goes to the D. The 2 higher notes stay the same. So putting all 4 parts together to make the introduction and actually what will be the verse, this is what it sounds like. And that is the introduction, which happens once by itself. And, spoiler alert, the next part, the verse, is exactly the same. Nothing changes, we just do that all again. And that happens 2 times in a row for the verse. Moving on to the pre-chorus, we have this chord here, which is a B in the left hand, with the right hand playing F sharp, B, D flat, and E flat on top of it there. We play that twice. Then it goes up to a left hand playing D flat and A flat, and then in the right hand we've got B flat, D flat, F. So we go from, and then we have a G flat and a D flat in the left hand with the same 2 notes in the right hand but with the B in between. And that only happens once, so we play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, and that last chord I just played is the same as the first one with the B, F sharp, B, D flat, E flat. So I'm going to play that through once for you. We then repeat the first part. And we go back to that chord without playing that G flat part, and then it leads into the chorus. So, just before I show you the next part of the song, I want to talk to you about the sheet music for it. I've wrote out all the notes for all the piano parts, and I've wrote it in with the correct structure. So if you wanted to get a PDF of this, then you can head on over to my Patreon page. There's a £2 tier where I upload all my videos and lots of music sheets along with it, and chord charts and lots of other content. And you can pick it up from there in a nice handy PDF file. Now, I'd also like to thank the people on the screen. Those are my current Patreons who are fantastic. They make this all worthwhile. However, if you can't show your support in terms of Patreon, I would love it if you could just like and subscribe. That would be amazing. However, let's move on to the next part. The only other part we need is the chorus. So the chorus is going back to a very similar thing that the introduction's playing, where it's back and forth with lots of notes, but the chords change. So the right hand's kind of the more important hand here. So what you have are these 3 notes here, G flat, B flat and D flat. And similar to the introduction, we've got the 2 higher notes and the lower note that are alternating. And And just to count the beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excuse me. At the same time, the left hand is playing a G flat and a D flat. So the two outer notes of the right hand, the left hand's copying. And we just sustain those notes. Afterwards, the higher note stays the same. We turn the B flat into an A flat and the G flat into an F natural, and we go to an F here. So we have this F to a D flat to an F. So putting those two parts together, we get in the next bar, we have F sharp, B, D sharp. And we have a B in the left hand. For emphasis, I'm using octaves of B. You can just use one B if you like. And then the last bar, we stay on the B here, but the only note that changes in the right hand is the highest note of D sharp. It goes down to a D natural. The other two notes stay the same. So we'll put the full chorus together. Now, after you've played it once, it then repeats a second time. However, on the second repeat, when you get to that last chord, don't use that pattern, just play and sustain it. So for example, when you get to the last two chords, we just hold it, ready for the next section. So after the first chorus, things start to repeat. We have a second verse, which is the same as the first verse. We have a pre-chorus, same as the first pre-chorus. Then we have another chorus, which is the same as the first chorus. Then we have a bridge section, same as the actual chorus, so it just kind of loops around that pattern. Only happens once though. We then have a pre-chorus and then a double chorus at the end of the song. So really it's just these three sections, the verse, pre-chorus, chorus, that loop around quite a lot. However, as you can see on the side of the screen, if you wanted all the structure and if you wanted the actual sheet music, you can head on over to my Patreon, like I mentioned earlier, and you can get the sheet music. However, thank you very much for watching. That's everything you need for the song. It's a beautiful piece. Lukas Graham is an absolutely fantastic artist. I love his voice. Anyway, enough of me rambling. See you in the next video.